We shall never surrender.
One small step for man.
I have a dream. Ask not what your country can do for you.
What's the status quo of your favorite quote? Professor Buzzkill explains all on Quote or No Quote.
Yes, that's right, Buzzkillers. It's your favorite professor here with your quote or no quote for the week. And I have another Monday morning quarterback with me, Professor Jeremy Young. How are you, Professor?
Wonderful. Welcome. Glad to be back.
Well, it is great having you back. You spoke to us a few weeks ago, about the age of charisma. And one of the people we talked about was Teddy Roosevelt. And whenever Teddy Roosevelt's name comes up, you hear this famous quote, "Speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far." Is this a real quote? Did he actually say it?
It is.
It is. Oh, no, you're ruining my reputation here. I'm supposed to ruin people's day, not make people's day.
No, it's a real quote. And he says it a number of times. He says, I think he often describes it, interestingly, as a West African proverb.
Yeah, I can't find, I've tried to trace that, whether it is a West African proverb, and I can't. He seems to be the only person that ever says it is.
Yeah. Of course, he was a big game hunter in Africa, so he'd been there. But no, I think it's more likely that he made it up, or that he heard some version of it and changed it to sound like what he wanted it to sound like.
I have an address from the address to the Minnesota State Fair. He says, "A good many of you are probably acquainted with the old proverb, 'Speak softly and carry a big stick.'" How frequently did he go about saying this, and was it effective? Did it become sort of his, mantra?
He said it fairly frequently, and it did become one of the things that he was known for. Of course, it outlined a certain approach to foreign policy. It outlines the idea of being, threatening people with your military capabilities rather than with your bluster, as he says. And what's funny about it is that it has nothing to do with the way that he actually went about conducting foreign policy. In fact, he was famous for his bluster in foreign policy. He takes what's called the White Fleet, this newly built fleet of battleships, and he sails it all around the world and docks it in foreign ports, and basically is sticking in other countries' faces and saying, you are, look at how big and powerful we are. That's not speaking softly at all. That's shoving his big stick in people's faces. And I think that it's funny that he's known for this phrase when he really didn't do anything like what he describes in the phrase in terms of his foreign policy.
So it's speak loudly or speak belligerently and carry a big stick.
Basically, yes.
Well, there you have it, Buzzkillers. An absolutely fascinating new look into what Teddy Roosevelt was actually trying to say and do. Talk to you next week.
Epicast